Greg Nakayama took action when COVID hit. He started offering free delivery for senior citizens and folks who are immunocompromised. 17 months later, he's still at it. One woman says it's been a lifeline for her physically and emotionally. It's been a tough year for Chattanooga resident Mary Bailey. She's battling health issues and can't drive, and when the pandemic hit, her support system changed.
I was in tears when the COVID hit because there wasn't anybody. You know, my neighbor Brenda went to work, and so I didn't have anybody, and then God just sent all these people coming in like angels.
One of those angels is Melissa McCowan. As part of her church's shut-in ministry, she started helping Mary with errands and doctor's appointments.
I call her my daughter. She's like my daughter.
Melissa soon discovered a man named Greg was dropping off lunch to Mary for free 5 days a week, and he had not missed a day since March of 2020.
Everything he makes is delicious. This is what he calls a baked potato.
People that have restaurants right now are trying to catch up and you know, regain that loss of income. But here you have someone who's in that situation but is thinking about someone else who is a complete stranger to him. He would never have met her. So in that way, COVID for the two of them was a good thing.
The daily delivery of fresh food quickly formed into a deep friendship.
About the second or third week he was coming, he said, "You know your family." And I said, "You're like a son."
And during this day's special delivery, Mary and Melissa had a special treat prepared for Greg.
We got a surprise for you, Greg.
You got a surprise for me?
We do.
This is yours.
Okay, and this is going to be yours if you'll put your hand out. This is on behalf of Channel 9 and the McMahon Law Firm.
Oh, I watched
we
that
would
show.
like to give you 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500, and say a heartfelt thanks for what you do for Mary and everybody else.
I told him you're like my son. We're family, aren't we, Greg?
As Greg wiped away his tears, he tells us why he's staying committed to feeding the vulnerable people of his community.
It's something I can do, it's something the restaurant can do, and we have food, so it's something that we enjoy doing for somebody. And if that helps somebody and gives them a good day, and we see each other every day, and it's just a smile. And where's Charlie? Charlie's not out here.
Here he goes.
Come on, Charlie.
There he goes.
Come on, Charlie.
After Charlie got his fill of playtime, Greg hit the road, feeding his new friends one day at a time.
For many fire departments across the nation, this potential deadly gap in training is a new issue they're battling. I talked to the Dalton Fire Department, who says they expect to battle fires like this in the future. At Dalton Fire Department,
To see fire, it always kind of kicks you into another gear.
Engineer Dwayne Pengel says they are fortunate they haven't had to respond to any electrical vehicle fires.
I have been noticing more and more, so I think it's going to be something we're really going to have to gear up on and get ready for.
Chief of Training Keith Dempsey makes sure the department stays ahead of the game when he trains first responders.
We try to stay at the cutting edge of everything. We are very, very aggressive when it comes to training and field operations, and we are always looking for that next best thing to better equip our personnel here in-house.
Dalton Fire says they are ready when the time comes, but in order to get hands-on experience, they need a prop.
When you start talking about training props, you know, it's not many people's offering up a Tesla for us to burn and train on it.
Chief Todd Pengel says there's no industry standard to electrical vehicle fires like there is with regular cars.
A big shortage and a big gap there in that training right now to be able to keep up with the automotive industry and the changes that are happening to the vehicles.
Dempsey says car manufacturers do offer an emergency response guide, but there's still some uncharted territory when it comes to training.
Even though alternative fuel vehicles have been around for several years, it's still a relatively new technology.
In order to prevent a fire like this, Pengel says car maintenance is key.
If you know you got an electrical problem, get it fixed.
Chief of Training at Dalton Fire, Keith Dempsey, says all of the firefighters are trained to respond to electrical vehicle fires. I also reached out to the Chattanooga Fire Department on electrical vehicle training, and they told me they also train their staff as well.
That's right. Here at the Hamilton County Courthouse, things are about to get extra busy. That's because Thursday is the first day of evictions court since the federal moratorium expired just over this past weekend.
Shannon James is a renter in limbo.
I'm just scared.
Her husband lost his job when the pandemic hit.
He has been looking and it's been hard for him to find a job.
Until now, the federal moratorium protected the family from eviction because of their income loss and other qualifying factors.
Basically, it's just been rough. We have no means to pay barely a light bill.
But as of this weekend, that protection is no longer in place, and they're due in court on Thursday.
Nowhere. We have nowhere to go. We would be homeless.
She fears for her family's future.
I mean, I have a son that's a great student, and I don't want for him to suffer. He's a basketball player. It's going to be devastating.
Attorney Benjamin Danford says the CDC's eviction ban was put in place last September.
As if the moratorium on evictions didn't forgive or allow anybody to not pay their rent, it just prevented the landlords from evicting a tenant for non-payment of rent.
But now that it's expired, he expects fewer landlords to jump through the hoops necessary to help tenants get emergency rental assistance.
Federal funds, they're being administered by THDA, and they've just had a difficult time getting the money out the door. Many landlords will say, we want this tenant out, we want a clean slate, and we want to get somebody else into the apartments.
Josh Kim, the property manager at Shannon's building, said she could not provide comment because she's new to the role and didn't know the specifics of Shannon's situation, but she did say that she owes over $16,000 in overdue rent.